So I want to understand what's happening overall. You're talking about Q1, fiscal Q1 2020 being about flat, I believe, but then you're confident that for the full fiscal year, revenue in constant currency will grow. Given all of the macro uncertainty, what gives you that confidence?
Well, we just closed a very, very strong year for Hewlett Packard Enterprise. We had record EPS growth, which was up 20%. We had record free cash flow, which is up 58%. And we grew on all the key strategic areas of focus, strong double digits. And the one area I'm really particularly pleased about it is the momentum we have in the as-a-service model, which in Q4 grew 72%. So that gives me the confidence, based on the portfolio and the innovation we brought to the market and the demand we're seeing for customers, to basically drive that growth in a profitable way based on the shift we have made this year. So that's why I'm confident about the future, about 2020 and beyond.
You mentioned services. When I look at your units, HPE PointNext and HPE Aruba services were the stronger ones looking at year-over-year comparisons. I wonder, is hardware overall, enterprise hardware, showing weakness heading into next year? Because I believe Goldman a few weeks ago had some warnings about that based on the uncertainty. Are you seeing that weakness?
Well, our units in the hardware base actually grew 2% in Q4, and we continue to drive very strong what we call services intensity, which allow us to grow HP PointNext orders on the services side 1% year over year. But within that, we grew the Aruba services 18% in Q4, and our HP GreenLake offer, the as-a-service offer, where we are putting a lot of emphasis, and in a couple of weeks I'm going to make an announcement about our next generation, grew actually 72%. So we see an acceleration, the services component of this, but the units actually grew 2%. So for us, it's about placing the right unit with the right mix, with the right services intensity, while we pivot the business to the as-a-service model.
Antonio, you talk a lot about containerization, a big bet there. When I hear a word like that, maybe it's because I have covered freight for the last couple of years. What does that entail, and how does it speak to the future, the bet that you're making about where enterprise technology is going?
Well, obviously, we live in a cloud world, and we live in what we call in a hybrid world, where apps and data lives everywhere, and more of those apps and data are moving what we call to the edge. The edge is where we live and work. And in order to operate in a hybrid world, you have to have a very efficient set of application designs and deployment. And that's why we see the emergence of containers in a microservices architecture, so you can move apps and data very, very efficiently back and forth where it makes most sense. And that's why containers are becoming a de facto way to develop what we call cloud-native applications. And this is where we put a lot of emphasis with our announcements last week at KubeCon on our HP container platform, which actually provides a true single pane of glass solution where we can move apps and data freely between on-premises and off-premises and all the way to the edge. And we actually brought together all the intellectual property, organic and inorganically, with the acquisition of MapR and Blue Data Storage, so we can actually provide that very, very efficient model to our customers and partners going forward.
Longer term, strategically, what do you view as your advantage in containers, in Kubernetes? I mean, Google might argue that they sort of wrote the book on it. VMware is going to talk a lot about it when it posts its earnings tonight. Why is HPE in a good position to drive that containerization message?
Well, HPE is the edge-to-cloud platform as a service company, and that's very important to understand. We actually can provide a true end-to-end experience for our customers. Not just in the core data center or in the big cloud, but actually all the way to the edge. And our differentiation comes down very simply in four things. One is open, because we believe customers will deploy multi-cloud and multi-stack solutions, not one single flavor of it. Two is the fact it's truly cloud native, using open source standards. So we are deploying in this HP container platform a true open standard solution that's hardened with HPE technologies like MapR and Blue Data Storage, because the data aspect of this is super important. Three is deliver as a service, because we have the expertise on the services side to help customers define the right mix of whatever is the hybrid cloud journey they need to embrace. And third and fourth, most important, is secure, because we build security at the core of the platform. And so we believe we have a very differentiated strategy that we can provide those experiences from the edge to the cloud, deliver as a service in a true cloud-native, open approach.